Taste, tasty and scrumptious. All right. I'm going to continue with the program. At this point, yes, Patrick just mentioned to me that dessert and cake is ready, so feel free to have some more sweets for the sweet tooth people. All right. This presentation really is kind of like an accountability report. You know, year in and year out, you come in and you support us, and your time, your dedication, and it's a way of, you know, sharing where your money goes. So that's what the purpose of this presentation is all about. All right, I wanted to start with just some food for thought about the grammar school. You know, some really pivotal things. I don't know how many of you are aware, but 180 years is quite significant. And the grammar school is actually older than some of the prestigious schools in the United States, including UC Berkeley, Stanford University, and Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Isn't that remarkable? Just think about that for a moment, right? At the time when the grammar school came into existence, it was around the same time that Texas, one of the largest states in the Union, was admitted into the US as the 28th state in 1845. That was when the US Naval Academy opened, right? And in our own country, in Sierra Leone, it was when the courts were deciding, you know, whether to free over 2,829 slaves. And of course, if you're a poet like myself and Uncle Tom, that's when the famous Edgar Allan Poe's poem, The Raven, was published. And then, this one is interesting. If we were to think about what's going on in the society today, it's the first time that Congress overrides presidential veto for the first time in this country. Right? So some really powerful things when you think back about the grammar school. I think that 180 years really represents something. And for me, right, this quotation really stands the test of time. The echoes of the past linger, but the future is yet to be written. I mean, we're just beginning. 180 years, think about it, we are just getting started. There's a lot to be written about our history. And it represents this Sankofa bird, right? Which is, you know, stepping forward but looking backward. And they're planted forward while its head is turned backwards, carrying a precious egg in its mouth. And it symbolizes the belief that the past serves as a guide for planning our future. So the grammar school has a rich history in the future. All right, now going on to where your money goes. If you remember, you recall a few moments ago, I was commending Mr. Emil Davis Van. Now this is Emil's baby, and I really want you to give Emil a round of applause. So we had solar panels that were installed under his leadership, and think about how we'll save a lot of energy, right? And bring down costs too at the grammar school. So when you think about sustainability, right, I mean, this is a really way forward. And so, Emil, I want to kind of thank you again for all the work that you do. I mean, Emil is doing such a remarkable, he's actually monitoring it, because you all know the challenge that we face in Sierra Leone with maintenance. And he is so good right from his home, he's able to maintain, you know, and watch it to make sure, you know, it's working properly, and talk about the advancement of technology, right? So, Emil, do you want to say a little bit about that as well? Can you come forward and share with you?
Okay, just a few words about this project. So, when we envision about creating ICT program at the school, a lot of us thought about the infrastructure that was needed. But little thought was actually paid to what was needed to power everything, right? Especially the old boys that were outside, you know, there's this mentality that people usually think, well, the power is always there. We don't really care how it's generated. It's always going to be available. So as Dr. Tom Spencer Walters mentioned, after he had the computers donated, you know, Patrick restored them and we shipped them to Freetown. And lo and behold, there was no power to run them. So we had over 100 computers sitting there, and there was no way to power them up. So we tried to use a generator, but it wouldn't work. You know, the generators would last for about 6 months, and then they're like, oh, I'm sorry, it broke. We didn't even want it. So we had to think about a strategic way to power the infrastructure. So we had to come up, after looking at several different options, we decided to go the route with renewable energy. And our goal is to enable the whole campus to be powered around the clock, utilizing renewable energy. And we designed this in such a way that it can be done in phases. So this is the completion of phase 1 that primarily serves to power the computing facility, the building that actually hosts the computing facility at the school. And because of the challenges that are associated with maintenance in Sierra Leone, we have redundancies that are actually built into it. Because unfortunately, unlike what we experience in a lot of these countries, where if something goes down, you can actually call a supplier and have a replacement shipped to you in a couple of days or a week. In Sierra Leone, we're talking months to half a year to get anything there. So we have redundancies actually built into the system in such a way that there is no single point of failure. So if any component in the system fails, there is actually like a backup. So currently, the way the system is designed is when any component fails in the system, it will take at the most about 10 minutes for the system to restart, and that component that fails is actually eliminated from the chain. The backup actually picks up from it so that we can continue powering the school. Because the goal is to have energy not be a limitation to the kids' educational experience or their ability to learn. So that is our primary goal. We finished the first phase of it, and we actually going to the next phase, which would be to expand it from not only the building that hosts the computing facilities, but to the other buildings as well on campus.
Yes. Thank you so much, guys. All right, one of the things that we've embarked on, you know, given the challenge of our O-level examinations and all of the things that are happening in the country with regards to ensuring that, you know, students have, they're doing stellar work, and and they have ethics and all of that stuff going on. And they can compete on the global scale, is we've extended and launched the IGCSE program at SFGS to give students global opportunities so that they can compete across the globe, right? And this was recently in September of 2024 launched, right? And now students will be globally recognized. They will be able to take the international GCSE exams and to enhance their educational and career opportunities, right? And actually, we've got quite a number of young scholars that are thriving and are already doing this. And here are some pictures, right? Those are some of the IGCSE textbooks, and that's a planning session right there and teacher training that was going on. And we're also working with the Annie Walsh Memorial School in Freetown, and of course AWOGA, the Old Girls Association, right, to help them with ICT skill development. And one of the things that we are hoping to do is, for the Annie Walsh, is to actually set up labs, which has already been launched, and also to train some of the teachers there so that they can start doing some of the ICT initiatives as well. And here we go. We're empowering our teachers and young women, and you can see some of these were actually people who participated in the launching program and teachers. And we are also trying to create projects with AWOGA and AW, the Annie Walsh Memorial School, to make sure that not only with the computer labs, but we'll be able to get teachers that will take on the leadership after the Gentilians finish their training. And then one of the successful things that we started about a couple of years ago was the STEM Holiday Club, right? And this has quickly taken some really great holds in Sierra Leone, where you've got people from across the country that have participated in the STEM Academy. In 2024 summer, right, we received 428 applications from 69 schools across Sierra Leone, and we've enrolled 230 students from 35 schools. And think about it, I mean, it's so good. A lot of the young women are showing quite a lot of interest. 52% of young women were enrolled in the program, right? And what we're doing is, it includes things like digital literacy, coding, robotics, entrepreneurship, audio podcasting, graphic design, video editing, and of course, think about young people in Sierra Leone. You got to keep them busy during the holidays. So this actually was something good that kept a lot of those young people busy. And we're bringing guest speakers from the diaspora, right, to come and share their skills as well. In fact, we actually had Akim Savage, who was a speaker at last year's session, and he was so impressed with the program. He came and he called me and he said, you know, I'm so proud of what the grammar school is doing. So, and of course, this is all possible made by your donations, but also other people that we are working with, you know, people like Awuga, you know, and some other companies and organizations in Sierra Leone as well. And there is a core team that includes people like, you know, these are people from the diaspora and Leoneans, you know, people like Femi Anthony, Basi Tue, George Fraser, Nick Askill, Tess McFoy, and Frank Johnson. And here are some of the STEM holiday pictures of students doing either podcasting or trying to create videos and all of that. Now, one of the things that has happened as a result of this is that last year they had actually a junior robotics teams from the Sierra Leone Grammar School and the Annie Walsh Memorial School had won the national robotics. There was a national robotics competition, and they ended up earning $8,000 Leone's prize. And they of course did coding and robotics and all of that stuff. And not just only that, they've taken this also, that's a picture of them, you know, of the students who won the competition. And they also participated at a global robotics competition in Dallas, Texas. Right? And that was very And here is a picture of that team with the current president of Sierra Leone. Now, I want to kind of share with you where we're going and some of the things that we intend on doing to continue making things better for students. So we still have a lot of work to do. The science labs, you know, are really outdated and old, and almost everything is broken. So we are working really zealously to create new science labs, right? We've just started phase 1 of the painting of the school, the outside, and thanks to the Maryland, Washington chapter, they spent about $30,000 buying all the paints that they sent to Sierra Leone, and they just actually finished painting the exterior and some of the front exterior of the grammar school. They still have to do the back, and most of the interior classrooms have all been painted, right? We're also working on, in fact, your money, thank you so much. We've purchased quite a number of furniture because all the furniture are old, and so we're bringing in some of the most modern furniture for students, right? And we are working on a water filtration system that will be able to help students with clean drinking water. And then, of course, you know the toilet facilities in Sierra Leone is a challenge. So we hope to upgrade the toilet facilities as well. So thanks to our dedicated supporters like you, the global alumni, all of the Regiontonians, and of course the school community, we're creating a better environment for our students. Right? And this is a picture of what we envisage the new computer lab to look like, and then the clean water and sanitation project. That's all the paints that went to Sierra Leone, and of course, this is kind of like a future idea of what we want the bathrooms to look like. And some chairs that are already at the school. And I just want to end by thinking a little bit about a poem by Langston Hughes, right? And where he says, hold fast to dreams, for when dreams go, life is a barren field, frozen with snow. I mean, that is never really going to happen to the grammar school. We are a school that have dreams, and we're going to continue to blossom. And then, of course, from the Raven, Edgar Allan Poe's poem, Dreaming Dreams, no mortal ever dared to dream before. All right, so that's us, the Grammar School. Thank you all so much for your attention to this presentation. We're getting ready to slowly round up. I just want to appeal to all of you before you leave. One more appeal. You know, quite a number of young people are struggling. I mean, you all know the challenges globally and in Sierra Leone. We just actually gave a scholarship, our chapter, to a young man who lost both his parents, and his grandfather was actually taking care of him, and the grandfather lost his wife, and that grandfather has lost, I believe, about 3 of his children. And this young man was going through so much, and we came in and helped him, and you want to see the letter of gratitude that he wrote to us. So I want to kind of encourage all of you, if you're thinking of sponsoring, young people who are really going through some monumental challenges in Sierra Leone, we'll appreciate that. We've got 3 kinds of scholarships that we in this chapter created. Dr. Tom Spencer Walters and I worked on these initiatives. So the first one is a Regentonian scholarship, which is specifically for people who are Regentonians and they are interested in giving back, to the community, to their school, providing aid for young people who are struggling. So that's the first one. Then you've got the general one, where you all can come in, right, to help the students. You might decide what it is that you want to do for students. Whether you want to work with a young person who is going through financial challenges, or if you decide that the person should be a stellar student, you will decide on what the criteria should be, and then you tell us. And then finally, we've got a specific one where it's catered for people who want to really sponsor kids for specific purposes, right? For example, those of you who are in sports, a lot of you in here love your sports, and maybe you've got a struggling student who is excelling in sports, right? And you're interested in that. We'll appreciate if you could help with that. Myself, I am working on providing aid for students who might have chronic illnesses or some kind of disabling condition, and as a result of that, they're struggling financially as well. So it's those kinds of specificities that we're looking for, and I hope that you all will support us in this venture to help a lot of our young people who are very deserving, right? Who are trying their best in spite of the difficulties. If you're interested, before you go today, you can raise your hand right now and say you are interested. In fact, we will appreciate that. Or please feel free to contact me, and if you need my information, I'll gladly provide that for you. All right? Anybody is interested in helping with scholarships? We've got some really powerful people in this room. I hope I don't have to start calling names. But really, I hope that you will work with me on this so that we can help out with that. All right, I want to close by definitely acknowledging our spouses and our members. And I'm going to start with the spouses who are present here. And I will start with the love of my life. Yes. My sweetheart. My fufu, my plaza. The one and only Audrey Deslina Udose. Audrey, thank you so much for your dedication and your support while I do all of the things I do for the grammar school. I appreciate you a lot. Love you, darling. All right, and then, of course, I have to call on a remarkable spouse. Well, actually, two remarkable spouses, right? You know, amazing women in our community, and these two women are no other Mrs. Desiree Spencer Waters and Dr. Sylvia Macaulay King. Don't worry, I know Auntie Sylvia will sponsor us. All right, and let's introduce our members. I hope I'm not missing. Well, actually, I need to recognize my former teacher, right, Mrs. Shubu Johnson. When Auntie Shubu came to the grammar school, she was very young at that time. I was in Form 1, and I have to tell you, some of my classmates were, they had a crush on her. All right. Anyway, moving on to the Regentonians. All right. I'll start, of course, Rodney Babatunde Udose, myself, and my comrade and colleague and friend, the remarkable Mr. Emil Davis-Venn. Let's give him a big round. And where is Mr. Emmanuel King? Oh, Mr. Emmanuel King is the chef for our organization. He's very good in making akara and ginger beer. And of course, our erudite, Dr. Tom Spencer Walters. Hello. And then, my brother, my great friend, the guy. My brother and great friend. And of course, Aki and I, used to sleep on the same bed. So imagine all the mischief that we were doing as young people. So, Mr. Patrick Hume Dawson. And sadly, Mr. Jeff Brewer, who is no longer with us, but we still want to recognize him. And I hope that all of you will remember his family, Dr. Lloyd Brewer, and the children. And sadly, please call comfort when you think of, the young kids like Jeff, for example, who has now lost not only his father, but just the other day, his mother as well. All right? And then my classmates, right, Mr. Fascinator Samuel. And then our newest member, where is he? Is he outside? Oh, he left for the airport. And then the youngest Regentonian in the house, Mr. Chinua Taylor Pierce. Chinua, I know you will do such remarkable things. I am really looking forward to you being more active in the group. So hopefully, starting this year, I want to see more of you at the meetings. All right. Yeah. Oh, yes. How could I forget the variable bishop? Our founding member, actually, Frank was here when we started this organization before he left for the East Coast, very instrumental. He's a former vice president of the organization, Reverend Dr. Frank Hume Dawson. Frank, thanks.
I will be bishop in your church.
And by the way, Frank is a former president of the Washington, Maryland chapter. Right? All right. Well, thank you all for being here and for your love and all you do for the community. We want to wish you a safe journey back home. We pray that God will give you all a good Lenten and Easter season. Have a wonderful Easter. And hopefully we can all meet here again, God willing, next year when we celebrate our 181st anniversary. Thank you all, and God bless you all.